heading to Wasdale. Should start seeing some really nice views. This is one of your favourite places, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to come up here all the time. You got the Screes on one side, you got Gable, Barrow, all sorts around here.
Used to come up once a year with a big bunch of friends, or more
Every
often?
bank holiday apart from the one in May. The May bank holiday
In half a mile, turn right onto the road.
May bank holiday we went on barges or a narrowboat holiday, but all the other bank holidays we just come up and meet up here. Stay on the campsite at Wasdale Head, drink in the Wasdale Head pub and walk from there.
It is a very popular water to go and visit, isn't it? And well, the only problem with it is there's only one road in and out, isn't there? So it can get very chocker, especially in the summer months.
I mean, it's popular for walkers because of the number of hills or mountains around it, and it's way over on the west side of the lakes. So not many people get here who are just visiting the lakes.
They come
Visiting in
for
inverted commas.
I've been to the Lake District. I have been to Windermere, but it's one of the more popular walking ones, isn't it? This area.
Yeah.
We're going backwards. And there's the first view of the Notter Lake and the Scree. So this is Wastwater, depending on where you come from and how you pronounce it. The deepest lake, or deepest body of water in England. And it's turning into a bit of a grizzly video, this, because we've got something to tell you about this water as well afterwards. We've just had the little bit about the shooting spree around Cumbria that ended just near Boot, and now we're here. More to tell you about a murder. So I've already said it's the deepest lake in England. At its deepest, it's 79 metres or 259 feet deep. And the outline of this lake forms the basis of the Lake District National Park logo. And the water is said to have its own ghost, the Wasdale Lady. In the autumn of 1976, a lady named Margaret Hogg was strangled by her husband. He then drove her body up from Surrey, which is some 300 miles away from here. On arrival, he rowed an inflatable boat to the middle of the lake, dumped her body, weighed down with concrete. Believing that she would never be found in such a remote area and deepest part of the lake, he really thought that he got away with it. But what he didn't factor in was somebody else going missing a few years later, a French student. So when they were searching for them, divers found Margaret's body. Due to the lack of oxygen in the water, her body hadn't decomposed at all, so it was easy to identify her. But even stranger than finding an undecomposed body in this water, a few years later there was another find. In 2005, a gnome garden complete with picket fences was removed by police divers. No one really knows how it got there, but it had got a bit of a reputation for being there among the diving fraternity. But it had caused too many people to dive to it and involved a number of casualties over the years, so the police decided to have it removed. So Margaret's body was discovered in 1984, So she was in there for quite a while. Back in the day, there used to be a lot of campervan parking in the pull-ins, but after the lockdowns, when there were so many sad idiots who were parking up and setting up proper camps, lighting barbecues, leaving rubbish, leaving human waste, it was decided by the National Park Authority that they just couldn't allow it anymore. So there are signs up now in all these lay-bys, pull-ins, or no overnight parking, which is a shame because it's a beautiful place to stop and have a night on with a view. I'm going to move on in a minute because we've got somewhere else we want to show you. But look at that view. A natural traffic calming measure. Just wind the window down for you here and you see the low cloud. Quite an impressive drive, isn't it? We've just parked up at Wasdale Head Village Green car park, which seems to be free. Can't see any signs saying.
There's nowhere to pay.
No, there's no donation box or anything either.
There's no internet to pay on Ringo, so...
But we're going to church. We're just walking past this farmhouse on the way to the church that we're going to. And the blue plaque says...
William Shakespeare did not live here.
It's one of those blue plaques. In 1554 to... No, sorry. In 1564 to 1660-ish, didn't live there. We thought it was a proper blue plaque. But yes, we're going to a church, St Olaf's Church. And this was one of your hikes?
Yes. Camped just at the head of the water, and used to come up past the church, and we can either go up the path there or the path winding up at the top there. All of these, well, I won't say familiar, but I've been up all around here over the years.
And back where I was telling you about the lady in the lake before, we've actually got a painting of that view, which Keith's mum painted, didn't she?
Yes. I think it's from a picture that she had.
Yeah.
I don't think she would take, well, she never went out and painted in situ.
But you are on it. You were added to it.
Well, we were added to it, yes.
You and that woman. You wondered what I was going to say then.
Well, I know, I didn't. I knew what you were going to say.
This is St Olaf's Church. And it's It's open every day, so we should be able to go in.
There's been a church on this site from 1550s.
So as Keith said, there's been a church on this site since 1550, though it's likely that there was an earlier church on this site. Look like I'm reading from him.
You do.
Are you going to start singing the next bit then?
No, because I can't see without my glasses.
So it's called St Olaf's Church, but it only became known as St Olaf's Church in 1977. Before that, it didn't have a name. The rector at the time, the Reverend Raymond Bowers, had friends in Norway, and it was he who suggested the name. The church has long been associated with the British and international climbers. The south window, which we'll show you in a minute, has a small pane within it with an etching of Nape's Needle on Great Gable. You've been up Great Gable?
Yeah.
A well-attended silence is kept every year on Remembrance Sunday at 11 a.m. to remember those climbers who gave their lives not only in the wars, but have also died in pursuit of their hobby. The church is often described as the smallest church near the deepest lake and near the highest mountain in England. And it's said that the 4 roof trusses, which we'll show you again in a minute, came from a Viking longship. And then we need to go outside and have a look in the graveyard, because there are some memorials out there that we want to show you as well. So we'll show you the roof trusses and we'll show you the window. Won't you, Keith?
We will.
Because you know where south is.
I do.
It's a lovely little place though, isn't it?
Mm.
That's a lovely cross as well, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? There are 2 services held here every month. On the, was it the 1st and 4th?
Can't remember. It's outside.
So these are the roof trusses, which they believe came from a Viking longship. Wasdale Head was originally a Norse settlement. Its first settlers being 2nd and 3rd generation Norse farmers who arrived in these western valleys from Ireland and the Isle of Man around 950 AD. Many place names around here of Norse origin. Wasdale, which was Vansdare, Valley of the Water. The Norse settlers were Christians. It's likely they were earlier churches on this site, as we've said. The Bishop of Chester ordered the parish to contribute towards the upkeep of St Bees Priory. Mention of it is also made in Eskdale Parish records in 1587. In 1976, the original vellum parish register was discovered sealed in a small alcove just inside the church door. And these records date from 1620, but they're now in the county archives in Carlisle. This is the oldest building in Wasdale, and it stands at the site of an ancient packhorse trail over Stye Head. It's planned that the church is going to be restored or have some restoration work done in 2025. The ravages of time have taken their toll on St Olaf's, Wasdale's oldest building, and they're busy raising £200,000 for a full restoration of the church and the churchyard in the spring and summer of 2025, which will be the first major restoration since 1892. They've raised quite a bit already, but they're still needing £97,500. Where's this window then? You said you know where south is.
There. Whether you see there. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my strength. And these are memorials to people that have been died on the fells, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
All along the edge as well.
And also, this was a memorial for Bill Bailey, the church warden, from 1981 to 2012. Some sheep up here.
Yes.
And this is what we wanted to show you outside. Felon Rock Climbing Club Memorial.
In glorious and happy memory of those whose names are inscribed below, members of this club who died for their country in the European War 1914 to 1918. These fells were acquired by their fellow members and by them vested in the National Trust for the use and enjoyment of the people of our land for all time. Actually on the summit of Great Gable and was there from 1924 to 2013. In 2019 the Bishop of Carlisle rededicated it here.
So the hills.
So the big one over there is Great Gable with the cloud on top. This one's Kirk Fell. Round this way is round up to Scar Fell. Scar Fell Pike. And that's Sty Head in the middle there. Coming round, you've got Sea Talon coming round here. Pillar over in the distance that way.
And dotted around the graveyard are graves of people who've been killed when pursuing their climbing hobby. This is Max Philipp Gunther Franz, born on the 22nd of July 1929 and died on the 6th of June 1953. Our only son, killed on Central Buttress, Scafell. A Frenchman. I think there are more around. Have a look. A.P. Rossiter, climber in these hills, 1903 to 1957. So some old ones. Claude Dean Frankland, who was killed on Great Gable on July the 31st, 1927. Here he lies where he loved to be. Frank Roberts, who was killed on Pillar Rock, June 12th, 1935, aged 31 years. In loving memory of Roland Ernest Sargent of Hull, formerly of Tipton, who died from a fall on Great Gable, 28th of July 1944, aged 34 years. So a lot of climbers who love these hills and mountains and sadly died had their final resting places here. Place that they loved. It's a very peaceful place. That's St Olaf's Church. A church with a newish name. Not even 50 years old yet. With some old graves from climbers who lost their lives. When you look at the dates of when people lost their lives, quite a long time ago, well, 20s, 30s, but you think now, because climbing gear and equipment has come on so much, these were men and women were just relying on ropes, weren't they?
Yeah.
Not all the other stuff that climbers have these days. There's another one here, which is to the memory of 5 members of the Batura Muztagh Expedition 1959, lost on the 25,540 foot Batura Peak, Hunza Kunji,
Himalayas.
in the Himalayas.
And where the first one was, Keith Warburton,
Yeah.
Warrington,
Yes.
age
31.
31. And there's
Harry Stevens from Workington, age 23. Richard Knight,
Betchworth.
25. And Martin Gunnell, age 28. We've just had our dinner, done the washing up, we're parked for the evening. That's our view. Sun's going to set, and we've got visitors. 3, 4, 5, 6 black horses, and there are some more around. But it should be a nice sunset with a bit of luck tonight, looking at the sky. Oh, there we go. Keith. Maybe it thinks we're a burger van.
Hello. Don't lick that. Or me. Don't lick that. Come on. Behind us, we've got other visitors. So with our cup of tea made and our new neighbours, it's time to say thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment, you know we'll always answer them, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.